Hello dear students, welcome to second lecture of fluid mechanics. We will continue this lecture from previous lecture where we left. Today we will see no slip condition, viscosity, dynamic viscosity, kinematic viscosity and classification of fluids. So let's begin with no slip condition. What is no slip condition? Whenever a fluid is placed over a solid surface, then the immediate vicinity of solid surface will stick to the solid surface and attains its velocity. So fluid in direct contact with the solid sticks to the surface due to viscous effect and there is no slip. So the relative velocity between the surface and immediate vicinity of fluid is 0. This is known as no slip condition. Let's understand no slip condition with an example. Okay, this is a stationary plate and over the plate fluid is moving with velocity v, and here all over the place the velocity of fluid will not be v because in the immediate vicinity of the plate the molecule will try to stick to solid surface and they will attain 0 velocity, and far from this plate gradually velocity will increase and will reach to its original velocity v. So there are some regions where viscous effects are predominant, and the layer which separate the region where viscous effects are negligible and where viscous effects are dominant is called as boundary layer. Here viscous effect negligible. So outside the boundary layer viscous effects are negligible, and inside the boundary layer we have a significant amount of viscous effect. Because of this viscous effect there is velocity gradient, and because of that a velocity profile is developed. So you can say the layer that sticks to the surface slows the adjacent layer because of viscous forces between fluid layers, which slows the next layer and so on. Therefore, the no slip condition is responsible for development of velocity profile. Okay, now we will see the property viscosity. What is viscosity? Viscosity is the property of fluid by virtue of which it offers resistance to the movement of one layer over its adjacent layer. तो viscosity की वजह से दो लेयर के बीच में हमें एक रेजिस्टेंस दिखता है जब एक लेयर दूसरे लेयर के ऊपर मूवमेंट करने का कोशिश करता है. जब मूवमेंट करने का कोशिश नहीं करेगा तो हमें वो विस्कस का इफेक्ट पता नहीं चलेगा. ओके, सो विस्कोसिटी इज द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ फ्लूइड. राइट अलोंग विथ मी. प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ फ्लूइड by virtue of which it offers resistance to the movement of one layer of fluid over its adjacent layer. Okay, ठीक है. So viscous is the resistance between two layers when one layer tries to move over another. What is the reason of viscosity or cause of viscosity? There are two reasons. One is cohesion, other one is molecular momentum transfer. ठीक है. कोहेशन लिक्विड के केस में ज्यादा होगा या गैस के केस में? जहां पे स्पेसिंग कम है वहां पे कोहेशन ज्यादा होगा, बिकॉज कोहेशन इज द फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन बिटवीन सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल. सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल में जो फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन है दैट इज योर कोहेशन. लिक्विड के केस में स्पेसिंग्स कम है, द स्पेसिंग्स बिटवीन लिक्विड मॉलिक्यूल्स आर लेस, सो फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन विल बी मोर. So cohesion is predominant in liquid, but for momentum transfer of molecule will be more in gas, because in gas molecules there is a large number of collisions. Okay, and due to collision momentum is transferred. So next we will see Newton's law of viscosity. What is Newton's law of viscosity? It says that shear stress is directly proportional to rate of shear strain for fluid. Okay. For fluid, shear stress is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. It is almost similar to the Hooke's law in solid. What was that? For shear stress, Hooke's law, shear stress is directly proportional to shear strain. But here it is rate of shear strain or rate of angular deformation. Okay. See, for fluid, rate of shear strain is important. For fluid, rate of shear strain is important. Why? Because in fluid, the deformation is continuous. When the deformation is continuous, the shear strain is not important. Rate of shear strain is important. Okay. So I can write here as per this definition, tau proportional to d theta by dt. So rate of shear strain or angular deformation. Let's understand Newton's law of viscosity from one example. Suppose this is a solid surface at rest condition, and over the solid surface we have fluid here, and over of this fluid there is a plate which is moving with velocity v. Okay. Because of no slip condition, the immediate layer of this plate will have velocity v. नो स्लिप ना, तो प्लेट में वेलोसिटी v है, तो यहाँ पे जो मॉलिक्यूल लगे होंगे उसका भी वेलोसिटी कितना होगा, v होगा. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे देखो, इस सरफेस, दिस सरफेस इज एट रेस्ट कंडीशन, दो इमीडिएट फ्लूइड पार्टिकल विल बी एट रेस्ट कंडीशन ऑल्सो, तो यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी जीरो होगा. यहाँ पे एट द टॉप वेलोसिटी इज v, एट द बॉटम वेलोसिटी इज जीरो. So there will be a velocity gradient in between this plate and this surface. So just immediate to fluid, we suppose this is the gap between the plate and surface. The gap suppose is h unit. Then fluid particle immediate to plate will have this much velocity. Then it will get reduced. It will get reduced. It will get reduced. And finally it will reach velocity 0. So there will be a linear velocity profile inside the fluid. ठीक है. Suppose I am taking velocity at y distance from the solid surface as u. Suppose this velocity is u, and at dy distance apart the velocity as u plus du. तो dy डिस्टेंस के बाद में वेलोसिटी सपोज मानते हैं u प्लस टी यू है, हम नाम दे देते हैं. सपोज दिस लेयर इज a, दिस लेयर इज b. तो लेयर a वेलोसिटी इज u एंड लेयर b वेलोसिटी इज u प्लस du. So now right here, this is layer a, layer b, and the difference of velocity between layer a and b is how much? This is u and this is u plus du, so this is du and this is u. Okay. Because of deformation of layer from A to B, if the angular deformation between layer A to B is d theta, which are dy distance apart, so A and B are at dy distance apart, what will be the distance traveled by this layer B? A से कितना ज्यादा होगा, because B layer has velocity du more than A, so the distance traveled by B will be du into dt. B layer का velocity A से du है ज्यादा, तो A से कितना ज्यादा distance travel कर लिया होगा, du into dt. Velocity into time is your distance. So can I write tan d theta is equal to du into dt by this is your dy, and can I write, if d theta is very small, tan d theta is d theta, so can I write d theta equal to du into dt by dy. So from there we'll get d theta by dt equal to du by dy. So I can write tau proportional to du by dy. So from this we got shear stress equal to rate of shear stress proportional to rate of shear strain or shear stress proportional to velocity gradient. Shear stress is a second order tensor, and Newton's law of viscosity says that shear stress proportional to rate of shear strain. What is shear strain unit? Shear strain is your, shear strain has no unit and rate of shear strain is 1 by T. So unit will be 1 by second. And shear stress unit is Pascal. Okay. So if we add a proportionality constant mu here, tau will become mu du by dy. This mu is a property of fluid. We call this mu as coefficient of viscosity. Tau equal to mu du by dy is your Newton's law of viscosity. This is your mu du by dy. Mu is your coefficient of dynamic viscosity. And it is a property of fluid. Now let's see dynamic viscosity. From Newton's law of viscosity, we saw that tau equal to mu du by dy. So mu can be written as tau into du by dy, du by dy. Or unit of tau is Newton by meter square and unit of du by dy is 1 by second. So what will be the unit of dynamic viscosity? It is Newton by meter square into second, or you can write Pascal second. So can I expand Newton? Newton can I write kg meter per second square into 1 by meter square second. So if I cancel the common thing, finally we will get kg by meter into second. This is also SI unit. Okay. So SI unit of dynamic viscosity are this Pascal second or kg meter per second. This is for SI unit. What is the CGS unit then? CGS unit of dynamic viscosity क्या होगा? kg की जगह क्या लिख देंगे? ग्राम, मीटर की जगह सेंटीमीटर सेकेंड. We call this gram centimeter into second as poise. This is named after scientist Poiseuille. So 1 gram divided by centimeter second is 1 poise. Let's convert 1 kg meter second into poise. So 1 kg equal to 10 to the power 3 gram. 1 meter equal to 10 to the power 2 centimeter. Then rest is, so this is equal to 10 gram centimeter into second or 10 poise. Okay. So 1 kg meter second is also equal to Pascal second is equal to 10 poise, or 1 poise is equal to 0.1 Pascal second. Put it in a box. So which quantity is more? Pascal second is more, poise is less. If unit is given in poise, convert by multiplying 0.1 to Pascal second. Now let's see the variation of dynamic viscosity with temperature and pressure. Okay. Now let's see, when temperature increases, molecular spacing of liquid will increase. If there is a large gap between molecules, cohesion between molecule will decrease. If temperature will increase, cohesion कम हो जाएगा. जब cohesion कम हो जाएगा, then liquid की viscosity कम हो जाएगी. So for liquid, if temperature increases, dynamic viscosity decreases. For gas, if temperature increases, momentum transfer will increase. गैप बढ़ जाएगा. जब गैप बढ़ जाएगा मॉलिक्यूल के बीच में, कोलिजन ज़्यादा होने लगेंगे बहुत दूर, और मोमेंटम एक्सचेंज भी ज़्यादा होने लगेगा. If temperature increases, momentum transfer will increase, or you can say velocity of molecule will increase. Velocity we denote as the root mean square velocity of molecule is proportional to root over of 3 RT by m. So that means there will be increase in dynamic viscosity. Okay, but dynamic viscosity does not depend on pressure. For both liquid and gas, it's not a function of pressure. Okay, so you can summarize this in a table. Whenever temperature increases, the cohesion force decreases and viscosity of liquid decreases. And when temperature increases, momentum transfer increases and gas viscosity increases. And there is no relation between pressure and viscosity, dynamic viscosity. Okay. Please remember the viscosity of water. Whose viscosity is more, water or air? Water dynamic viscosity is around 0.9 millipascal second, and air dynamic viscosity is 0.018 millipascal second at room temperature. So mu of water is greater than mu of air. Viscosity of water ज़्यादा होगा ना air से. In the next slide we'll see kinematic viscosity. This is defined as nu equal to dynamic viscosity divided by density. Okay, so what will be unit? Dynamic viscosity unit is Newton per meter square into second, or kg divided by meter second, and rho unit is kg per meter cube. So finally kg will get cancelled, meter it will come as meter square per second. kg's unit will be centimeter square per second, and this centimeter per square per second is called as, according to scientists, as per the name scientist Stokes, it is called as Stokes. Okay, 1 centimeter square per second is equal to Stokes. Now can we convert 1 meter square per second is 10 to the power 4 centimeter square per second. So now you got the unit of dynamic viscosity. This is the unit of dynamic viscosity, SI unit, and this one is CGS unit. What is kinematic viscosity of air? Water is how much? Kinematic viscosity of water is equal to mu of water divided by rho of water. How much? Mu of water is how much? 0.9 millisecond divided by rho of water is 10 to the power 3. And if you see mu of air कितना होगा? Mu of air is, again we can write mu of air by rho of air. तो mu of air कितना है? हमने लिखा था 0.018 millipascal second. Then density of air is 1.2. Tell me whose value will be more? This will come 0.9 into 10 to the power minus 6. This is in terms of 10 to the power minus 3. So now tell me whose value is more, water kinematic viscosity or air kinematic viscosity? It's clearly air kinematic viscosity is greater than water. Put it in a box. Please remember, dynamic viscosity of water is greater than air, but kinematic viscosity of air is greater than water. Now let's see variation of kinematic viscosity with temperature and pressure. We saw mu equal to mu by rho. So for liquid, if I say this is liquid, for liquid suppose, with increase in temperature mu decreases and rho increases. So this numerator decreases and denominator increases. That means mu value will decrease. For liquid with increase in temperature, mu value decreases. Okay, and with increase in pressure, there is no change in nu because there is no change, it remains constant. because there is no relation between mu and pressure, and rho also is constant with pressure for liquid. So when pressure increases तो pressure change होगा, तो kinetic viscosity में liquid के लिए कोई change नहीं होगा. Let's see for gas. Gas में temperature increase होगा तो dynamic viscosity increase होगा, because dynamic viscosity for gas is proportional to root mean square velocity of molecule, and root mean square of velocity of molecule is root over of 3RT by n. Okay, what is T? T is temperature, R is characteristic case constant, N is molecular weight. So this is, so we can say viscosity of gas is proportional to temperature. Temperature बढ़ेगा तो डायनामिक विस्कोसिटी बढ़ जाएगा, एंड टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा तो रो का क्या होगा. लेट्स सी आइडियल गैस इक्वेशन PV इक्वल टू RT और P बाय रो इक्वल टू RT. तो रो इक्वल टू P बाय RT. रो इक्वल टू P बाय RT मीन्स न्यू इक्वल टू म्यू बाय रो. न्यू इक्वल टू म्यू बाय रो. Mu is proportional to root over of T, and rho is proportional to 1 by T. So I can write this mu is proportional to T to the power 3 by 2. So whenever T increases, then mu value will increase. Let's put it let's put this in a box. For gas, viscosity is proportional to root over of T. And what is the relation between pressure and kinematic viscosity for gas? If pressure increases, mu do not increase, there is no change. But when pressure increases, there is a increase in density. If density increases, denominator increases, mu value will decrease. So mu value will decrease for gas. So let's summarize this for liquid and gas. When temperature increases, for liquid, kinematic viscosity decreases. When temperature increases, for gas, kinematic viscosity increases. For liquid, when pressure increases, kinematic viscosity, there is no relation. But when pressure increases for gas, kinematic viscosity decreases. Here we will try to solve few previous year GATE question. Let's see. A fluid is said to be Newtonian fluid when the shear stress is, very simple, when the shear stress is proportional to rate of shear strain or velocity gradient. Then which option is correct? Option B or option A, directly proportional to the velocity gradient. Okay. Next, a fluid is one which can be defined as a substance that, so this is the definition of fluid. A fluid is one which can be defined as a substance that has the same shear stress, can deform indefinitely under the action of smallest shear force. Yes, this is correct, option B. Let's check C. Has the small shear stress in all directions, is practically incompressible. All fluids are not incompressible. We consider gases as compressible substance. So only correct option is option B. Next, kinematic viscosity of air is given 20 degree at 20 degrees Celsius, and kinematic viscosity at 70 degrees Celsius they are asking. So here question number 3, kinematic viscosity nu at 20 degrees Celsius is how much? 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 5. Unit is meter square per second. And nu at 70 degrees Celsius, we have to calculate this value. So when temperature increases, nu value increases or decreases for gas. Air is a gas. Definitely nu value will increase at 70 degrees Celsius. So check but the value greater than 1.6 is 2.2 and 3.2. So in between these two options A and D, one will be correct. Now check, we know nu proportional to temperature to the power 3 by 2. So I can write this as nu 1, this is nu 2. Okay, so nu 2 by nu 1, the ratio must be equal to T2 by T1 because directly proportional to 3 by 2. Now you can find the nu 2 value. Nu 1 is given 1.6 into 10 to the minus 5. T2 is given 70 degrees Celsius. So convert Celsius into Kelvin. T1 again 20 degrees Celsius. Convert T1. You will get this option as correct. 2.2 10 to the power minus 5. Okay. Similarly, question number 4, the SI unit of kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity unit is meter square per second. So only this option is correct. Next, for a Newtonian fluid, shear stress proportional to shear strain, no. Rate of shear stress is proportional to shear strain, no. Shear stress is proportional to rate of shear strain, yes. This is Newton's law of viscosity, and the fluid which obeys Newton's law of viscosity is your Newtonian fluid. Newtonian fluid means fluid obeys Newton's law of viscosity. Okay. In this slide, we will try to figure out different cases of viscosity problem. So let's see. Case 1. Suppose there is a surface and over the surface fluid is flowing, and there is a plate over this. That plate is moving with a velocity v. Okay, and the distance between that plate and the surface is y. If this is the problem and they are asking the force required to drag this plate for attaining the velocity v. तो कितना फोर्स चाहिए होगा वेलोसिटी v को प्लेट का मेंटेन करने के लिए. वी नो शियर स्ट्रेस इन फ्लूइड कितना हो जाएगा, टाउ इक्वल टू म्यू डी यू बाई डी वाई अकॉर्डिंग टू न्यूटन्स लॉ. हियर म्यू तो म्यू हो गया, डी यू मीन्स वेलोसिटी डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस टू बाउंडिंग सरफेस ऑफ फ्लूइड. वेलोसिटी डिफरेंस वेलोसिटी प्लेट का इज v बाउंड और सरफेस का 0. डी वाई मतलब ये जो गैप है इन दोनों के बीच में कितना गैप है, गैप इज y. ओके, so shear stress becomes mu v by y. Then force will be equal to shear stress into area. So that will be equal to, implies that force will be equal to mu a v by y. Okay, so put it in a box. Here we have assumed the velocity profile as linear. So in between the plate we have assumed velocity profile is linear. As the plate is moving with velocity v, there will be a linear profile. Okay, so this is case 1. Next, case 2. There is a variant of case 1. Suppose velocity profile, in some cases they will give you velocity profile. Suppose velocity profile is given as u equal to 5 sin 5 pi y. Suppose this is the velocity profile given. Now they will ask you the force required to drag the plate. अब फोर्स कितना लगेगा वेलोसिटी v मेंटेन करने के लिए. तो हमने सेम चीजें हैं, तो यहाँ पे फोर्स को टाउ इंटू एरिया लिखना है. टाउ इज म्यू डी यू बाई डी वाई. नाउ यू कैन डिफरेंशिएट. ओके, म्यू डी u is given, so du by dy will be, this is the example, derivative of this profile, derivative of 5 sin 5 cos 5 pi y multiplied with derivative of 5 pi y. Derivative of 5 pi y is 5 pi. Okay, So finally mu multiplied with 25 cos 5 pi y. In this case na they will ask you force at some distance. Suppose force at y equal to 5, they are asking. Calculate at y equal to 5 how much force is required. So you can put y value here. So tau at y equal to 5 will be equal to mu 25 mu cos 5 pi into 5, so 25 pi. Okay, correct. And at the end you can find force equal to tau into area of contact. This area is area of contact of fluid. Area of contact of fluid. Okay, now let's see case 2. In case 2, suppose we have a surface inclined at theta degree to the horizontal. This is horizontal surface, inclination angle is theta degree. Now if a plate placed over some fluid on the inclined surface, calculate the force required to drag this plate to maintain a velocity v. Suppose velocity is given v. Find the force required. Here the gap will be given. Gap, suppose gap is y. So यहाँ पे वेलोसिटी v मेंटेन करने के लिए कितना फोर्स चाहिए होगा इसको ड्रैग करने के लिए. ओके, तो यहाँ पे एक प्लेट, इस प्लेट का वेट विल बी एक्टिंग डाउनवर्ड. फोर्स बैलेंस कर लेते हैं. वेट कंपोनेंट विल बी एक्टिंग डाउनवर्ड and the cos theta component of weight is w cos theta. This will be theta, and sine component of this w is your w sine theta. See, w sine theta is the responsible force to drag this plate. So the force required to drag this plate is what? W sine theta. So force required is equal to w sine theta. That is equal to tau into area. What is tau? Tau is similar mu du by dy, and du is v minus 0 because surface is at rest. So mu v minus 0 mu v, and the gap between plate and surface is y multiplied with a. So here w sine theta equal to mu a v by y. Okay, next we will see one more case, case 3. Suppose we have two concentric cylinders. One, the inner cylinder is rotating with some velocity and outer cylinder is stationary. This is the problem. क्या है, दो concentric cylinders हैं जिनमें से दो concentric cylinder हैं जिनमें से inner cylinder is rotating with some velocity and outer cylinder is fixed. तो ये एग्जाम्पल सिमिलर होगा स्लीव एंड बियरिंग का. एक स्लीव जो है वो कांस्टेंट में है, बियरिंग रोटेट कर रहे हैं, और स्लीव एंड शाफ्ट रोटेट कर रहा है. So inner is moving and outer is stationary. This is the case. Suppose the outer diameter of the cylinder is given d0 and inner cylinder diameter is given di, and in the gap of two cylinders we have a fluid. In the gap of these two cylinders we have some amount of fluid. Okay, we can pick one more color. Some amount of fluid is present in the gap. Okay, so now what will be the power requirement for rotation of this inner cylinder? Outer cylinder fix है, inner cylinder rotate कर रहा है, then तो कितना पावर चाहिए ये इनर सिलेंडर को रोटेट करने के लिए? ऐसा अगर क्वेश्चन रहेगा तो हमें पावर कैसे मिलेगा? पावर इक्वल टू रोटेट कर रहे हैं मीन्स टॉर्क इंटू एंगुलर वेलोसिटी. ओके, torque angular velocity is, can I write 2 pi n by 60? Okay, so n will be in rpm. If n is in rpm, then put this 2 pi n by 60. Okay, if n is in rps, then do not divide by 60. And what is torque then? Torque will be equal to force into radius of rotation. Inner cylinder is rotating, so di by 2. Okay, force into di by 2. So what is force requirement for the rotation? What is the force? Force equal to tau into area. Area means this area of contact of cylinder with fluid. तो यहाँ पे फ्लूइड के साथ कौन सा एरिया कांटेक्ट में है? पूरा, ये जो सरफेस एरिया देख रहे हो पूरा कांटेक्ट में है. तो एरिया विल बी इक्वल टू, तो टाउ आई कैन राइट म्यू du by dy, and area I can write pi di into L. If length of inner cylinder is equal to L, then this is equal to pi di L. What is du by dy? Du equal to one cylinder is fixed, so v minus 0 mu. What is dy? dy is the gap between this two cylinder. गैप कितना है? ये गैप कितना है? ये गैप है ना, टोटल गैप d0 माइनस di. इस साइड का गैप और इस साइड का गैप दोनों मिला के होगा, तो इस साइड का गैप द dy विल बी इक्वल टू हाउ मच? d0 माइनस di करने के बाद हाफ कर देंगे. d0 माइनस di करने के बाद हाफ कर देंगे. तो so can I write this? 2 will go to numerator, then d0 minus di multiplied with pi di into L. Okay, from this you can obtain solution. Okay, let's see one more case. Case 4. Suppose in this case inside a channel there is a plate, and over the plate we have a fluid with viscosity mu1, and below the plate we have fluid with viscosity mu2. Now find the force required to drag this plate, and this bounding surface are stationary. Here velocity equal to 0, velocity v equal to 0, and here at the plate velocity is v. Now find the force required for dragging this plate. Against this force there will be a resistance F1 here in fluid of viscosity mu1, and F2 in fluid of viscosity mu2. So F, you can write F equal to F1 plus F2. What would be the velocity profile of this? Here velocity will be 0, gradually velocity will increase, then again at this bounding surface velocity will get reduced to 0. So 0 here at bounding surface, 0 here at bounding surface, then it will increase to velocity v. Okay, so this is your velocity profile. Suppose this distance is y1 and this distance is y2. Then can I write F1 equal to mu1 a v by y1 and F2 mu 2 a v by y2. What is A? A is the area of contact of this plate with fluid. So this surface area of the plate that is in contact with fluid mu1 and in contact with mu2. Okay. So from here you can calculate F1 and F2, and finally you can calculate F. Now look at the next case, case B. Suppose we have 3 plates here and one plate is sandwiched between the 2 plates. The middle plate is sandwiched between the 2 plates, and here one plate is stationary and one plate is moving in this direction, but plate is moving in opposite direction. Suppose this is velocity v and here the velocity is v2 and v1 is 0. This distance is your y1, this distance is y2, and in between we have 2 different fluids. This is fluid with viscosity mu1 and this is your fluid with viscosity. This is mu1 and this is suppose mu2. The bottom part is mu2 suppose. Now calculate the total force required to drag this plate. तो यहाँ पे कितना फोर्स चाहिए होगा जो बीच का प्लेट है ना सैंडविच बना हुआ उसको ड्रैग करने के लिए. व्हाट इज द फोर्स? फोर्स विल बी इक्वल टू, सिमिलरली यहाँ पे भी ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन पे फ्लूइड में F1 फोर्स लगेगा, यहाँ पे ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन पे F2 फोर्स लगेगा. देन F इक्वल टू F1 प्लस F2. व्हाट विल द F1 वैल्यू देन? F1 विल बी इक्वल टू τ1 into area of contact of fluid A. What is τ1? Mu V. One surface is raised, then distance between them is y1 A. So this is mu, this is mu1 A V y or y1. F2 value will be equal to similarly τ2 into area. What is type 2? mu2, and here we have 2 different velocity. One is moving with v, other one is in opposite direction, v2. So v minus of minus v2 opposite direction, mu du by dy is y2 multiplied with area. So finally you will get mu2 v plus v2 divided by y2 into area. The total force will be summation of this F1 and F2. Okay, got this? What would be the velocity profile in fluid? It will reach maximum to velocity v here from 0. Then again from velocity v it will go to v2 in opposite direction. So v2 in opposite direction means negative. If this is positive, this value is 0, then it will go like this. So this is your velocity profile. Okay, this velocity is v2 and this velocity is v. So somewhat if I draw neat sketch, it will look like this. Okay, this is your velocity v2, this is velocity v, so try to solve this numerical. A thin plate is placed between 2 flat surfaces which are h meters apart such that the viscosity of liquid on the top and bottom plates are mu1 and mu2 respectively. What is the position of the thin plate such that viscous resistance to have uniform velocity v of the plate is minimum? So it's asking position of the plate where viscous resistance or force is minimum. ठीक है, तो इसके लिए पहले फिगर ड्रॉ कर लेते हैं. यहाँ पे क्या है, एक thin plate is placed between 2 flat surfaces. So let's draw 2 flat surface, and in between the 2 flat surfaces a plate is placed somewhere, and here we have the plate is moving with uniform velocity v, and we have 2 different fluids of mu1 and mu2. Now find the position of thin plate. If at y distance from the top force is minimum, so can I write force is minimum means dF or dy equal to 0. And what is F? If force required to drag this plate is F, then there will be a F1 force in first fluid and F2 force in second fluid. So F will be equal to F1 plus F2. What is F1? Can I write F1 equal to tau 1 into A1? A1 is equal to A. So I can write this as mu A V by Y. And if this is H, this will be H minus Y. And F2 will be equal to tau 2 into A2. This is mu1. Can I write mu2? A2 is also equal to A. Area of contact V by H minus Y. So total force F will be equal to F1 plus F2 summation mu area into velocity, this is common, mu1 by Y plus mu2 by H minus Y. Now take differentiation, dF by dy equal to 0. So area into velocity, mu1 into derivative of 1 by y is minus 1 by y square plus, let this mu2 into 1 by h minus y whole square. Here minus and minus y derivative, minus into minus equal to plus, equal to 0. Then AB also becomes 0. So can I write this as mu1 by y square is equal to mu2 by h minus y square. From this expression, can I write mu1 by mu2 equal to y by h minus y whole square, or y by h minus y is equal to square root of mu1 by mu2. Okay, so which option is correct? Option A is the correct answer. So let's see next question. A Newtonian fluid filled between a shaft and slip bearing. A force 800 Newton is applied on the shaft. The shaft gains 1.5 cm per second velocity. If force is increases to 2.4 kilonewton, then now speed will be. Okay, so what is the relation between force and velocity? Force equal to mu A V by Y if velocity profile is linear. Here we have a shaft and slip bearing, velocity profile is not given, so we are assuming velocity profile as linear. That means force directly proportional to V. So F2 by F1 will be equal to V2 by V1, V2 equal to F2 by F1 multiplied with V1. How much? Force F2 is your 2.4 kilonewton means 2400 Newton, then 800 Newton multiplied with V1. V1 is 1.5. So it is equal to 4.5 centimeters per second. Next question. A liquid of density rho, dynamic viscosity mu, moves steadily down the inclined plane in a thin sheet of constant thickness T. Find the shear stress at the bottom of liquid surface due to flow parallel to the inclined plane. So there is the inclined plane case. This is your inclined plane, and what is the amount of force required in inclined plane? W sin theta. Here we have some liquid. Okay, and this component is W sin theta we saw in that case, and W is here, W cos theta is here. Okay, So W sin theta is your essential force to drag the plate. W sin theta will be equal to mu A V by Y. This is your force. What is the tau stress? It's asking shear stress. Shear stress will be equal to force by area. What is force? W sin theta by area. Can I write W as mass into acceleration due to gravity, mg sin theta divided by A. M equal to rho V, then G sin theta by A. What is V? V can I write rho, this is area into height, thickness T, G sin theta by A. So A got cancelled. Finally you will got rho GT sin theta. This is your answer. Okay. In the next lecture we will see classification of fluids, compressibility, surface tension and vapor pressure. अगर आपको हमारा वीडियो पसंद आ रहा है प्लीज़ डू लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब एंड इसको मैक्सिमम से मैक्सिमम शेयर कीजिए जिससे सबको इसका फ़ायदा मिले। थैंक यू।